They won't tell you this in Gladiator 2. Caracalla's real story wasn't just madness and blood, it was something far more complex. It began far from Rome in the deserts of North Africa and the temples of Syria. Born in Roman Gaul to a North African Punic Amazigh father from Libya and a Syrian Arab mother, he was the Roman Empire's first emperor born of immigrants. A child of the margins, Caracalla carried Africa and the Middle East in his blood. He would rise not just to rule Rome, but to challenge who truly belonged to it. His legacy wasn't only written in blood, it echoed in law, in stone, in the ruins that still whisper his name. Yes, he killed his brother, and yes, history called him mad. But that's only part of the story. Behind the brutality was a deeper legacy, etched not just in violence, but in empire, in inclusion, and in the very stones that still stand in his name. Caracalla, born Lucius Septimius Bassianus, wasn't your typical Roman emperor. He was the son of two worlds. His father, Septimius Severus, hailed from Leptis Magna, in what is now Libya, a proud North African city, rich in Punic and Amazigh heritage. His roots traced back to the native Amazigh people, whose name literally means the free men in their own language. His mother, Julia Domna, came from Emesa, in modern-day Syria. She was likely of Arab descent, born into a powerful priestly dynasty that served the sun god Elagabal. So Caracalla was of North African and Syrian Arab descent, an emperor born of Africa and the Middle East, raised in Rome, shaped by cultures that lay far from the Roman Senate. He didn't just inherit Rome, he embodied its diversity. From Morocco's sands to Syria's mountains, Caracalla's legacy is carved into the land itself. Walk through the ruins of Volubilis in Morocco, and you'll find Roman mosaics and triumphal arches that still stand today. In Carthage, Gemala, and Timgad, massive amphitheaters rise from the earth, silent witnesses to centuries of empire. These weren't just outposts, they were Rome. African, Arab, Punic, Amazigh, woven into the very bones of the empire. And Caracalla honored them not just in stone, but in law. In 212 AD, he issued the Constitutio Antoniniana. With one sweeping decree, Caracalla granted Roman citizenship to nearly every free man in the empire. Egyptians, Amazigh, Syrians, Phoenicians, Gauls, Britons, suddenly all Roman. It was partly pragmatic. More citizens meant more taxes and soldiers. But it was also revolutionary. Roman citizenship had been a guarded privilege. After Caracalla, it was shared. Former slaves, local freemen, immigrants from every province, all were now Roman. He connected the empire, not just through conquest, but through identity. In Alexandria, philosophers and merchants walked under one law. In Palmyra, Roman legions marched beside Arab traders. In Volubilis, Amazigh farmers plowed fields beneath Latin arches. Like the mad emperor Commodus of Gladiator 1, Caracalla knew the power of spectacle too. Caracalla built one of Rome's greatest public masterpieces, the Baths of Caracalla. They weren't just places to bathe, they were cathedrals of leisure. Mosaics glittered beneath vaulted ceilings, scrolls lined marble libraries. Citizens of every origin shared the steam, the stories, the empire. It was a message in stone. Rome is not just for the Roman-born. It is for all who live within its embrace. He gave the empire bread, laws, and awe. Yes, he was ruthless. Yes, he killed his brother in front of their mother. But his reign wasn't only about cruelty. Caracalla was born of immigration, of hybridity, of multicultural power. His father, the empire's first African Punic emperor. His mother, a Syrian Arab philosopher queen. Together, they forged a dynasty that didn't just rule Rome. They expanded what it meant to be Roman. In Caracalla, those worlds collided and combined. He didn't just change Rome, he redefined who belonged to it. Caracalla wasn't just Rome's mad emperor. He was Rome's mirror, reflecting its contradictions, its brutality and its brilliance, its conquest and its compromise, its emperors and its immigrants. Born of Libya and Syria, crowned in Rome, echoed across Africa and the East, a man of blood, a man of vision, a man whose legacy still rises from stone and sand. He didn't just rule the empire, he made it his own. He cast off his birth name for one of glory, Marcus Aurelius Antoninus. But the people knew him by another, Caracalla, a Gallic cloak, foreign and unforgettable. He wore it with pride. Born of a North African father and a Syrian Arab mother, he was no son of the Roman Senate. He was the empire's future, written from its edges. With North African fire and Eastern grace, haunted by Alexander, he dreamed of glory, but ruled with Roman fire. And in stone and law, he left behind a question still echoing through ruins. Who gets to belong to Rome? Before Europe even dreamed of unity, Caracalla made it law. Caracalla's empire, diverse, borderless, and bold, offered Rome its first vision of unity. Not a European union, but a Roman one.